It feels like just yesterday I was coming at you guys with my round of 32 picks, and now it's because it was just yesterday. I came out with my video at like 12:10 or 12:01, something like that, on Sunday morning, I guess you call it, and now it is officially Monday. It's like late Monday, about to be Tuesday, and we have our Sweet 16 already set. It's just March Madness. It's just how fast the bracket moves and everything. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing, but I cannot wait to get into my picks for the Sweet 16 leading on to the Elite Eight, because this bracket has been insane. This whole March Madness has been insane. And if you guys have been loving the madness, and if you love college basketball, college football, college sports in general, do yourself a favor, hit the sub button down below, and while you're at it, hit the like button too. That would be really, really appreciated if you could do that, because we're really trying to get the content out. Let's get into the game picks, because mind-blowing things have happened in this round of 32. Oral Roberts moving on, becoming the second 15 seed ever to move on to the Sweet 16 other than Florida Gulf Coast. Just madness all over the board. So let's start off with the West region. Starting off with Gonzaga and Creighton. There's no chance I could take Creighton here. Creighton's looked good in the last two games. They had a really close game against UCSB, and then they had a bit more of a commanding win against Ohio, but those two teams are not Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I thought that they were going to be out by now. It's just because I hadn't seen Gonzaga play, and I extremely underestimated how good that team is. But that team is hot, and it doesn't look like they're about to slow down at all. So Gonzaga, 110%. I could say 157.789 10 billion, trillion, whatever you want to call it. Gonzaga is going to win that game against Creighton. Next, moving on to USC versus Oregon. We got a Pac-12 matchup. Oregon has a really good win against Iowa, and I thought that Iowa was one of the most overrated teams in this bracket anyways. Them and Oklahoma State, and guess what? Both of them lose this round. It's because they're overrated. There's a reason. USC, I think, is getting hot. They're a team that has just taken command over some good teams. I had picked Drake over USC the first game. Obviously, that did not happen. And then they go out and they beat a good Kansas team. Although Oregon is a bigger team, Oregon played a really good game against a good Iowa team. I like this USC team, so I'm taking them on to the Elite Eight, which means in my, West region, I got Gonzaga versus USC in the Elite Eight. Let's move on. What should we go to? Let's go South region. So we got top right part of the bracket. We got Baylor and Villanova first off. Baylor is kind of I know that they're number one, but there's something about it, because if you talk about the number one seats, you're talking about Gonzaga, you're talking about Illinois, you're talking about Michigan. It somehow seems that Baylor slips under the cracks, and this is a really good basketball team. They beat a good Wisconsin team. Let's not remember, Wisconsin played an amazing game against North Carolina. Baylor goes on to take on Villanova, who has beat Winthrop and North Texas. Villanova just hasn't faced that really, really good team yet, and you're going to be slapped in the face with Baylor, and I feel like Baylor is the better team in this scenario. So I'm taking Baylor to the Elite Eight, and they play the winner of Arkansas and Oral Roberts. I don't know what to say for this pick. I am cheering for Oral Roberts to win the whole thing. I want Oral Roberts to win the whole thing, because it would just be such an amazing story. Yes, the same thing has happened with Florida Gulf Coast, where they've made it to this point. And did they go on to win it? No, they didn't. Arkansas is a really good team. Got to get on the must bus. I think I'm going with Arkansas here. Yes, they played Texas Tech really, really close. Oral Roberts played Florida close, but I think Arkansas is just a sound team, and they're going to be going on to take on Baylor in the Elite Eight, which, did I pick? I think I picked Arkansas to the final, to the Elite Eight, so I'm happy about that. I had North Carolina to the Final Four, because they're going to kind of be my sleeper team. Obviously, that did not come anywhere close, so do not ask me about that. Let's move on to the East region. The game that I watched today, really, really good and entertaining game between Michigan and LSU. I'm telling you, LSU had their chances in that game, but it was just Michigan pulling away late. Michigan's a good team. They're a good tall team with Dickinson, and you got Wagner in there. This is a good basketball team, even without Isaiah Livers, and they take on a Florida State team who had a very commanding win against the Colorado Buffaloes. But I think that Michigan's still looking like the second best team in this tournament. Or no, I take that back, because I know who the second best team in this tournament is, and I'm going to hold off because they do not come up yet. So I'm going to go Michigan's the third best team in this tournament, and then they will ultimately beat Florida State in this game. And we got UCLA and Alabama. This brings me to my second best team in the tournament, and that is Alabama. This team is just getting started. And they are dangerous. They are very, very dangerous, this Nate Oates basketball team. So I'm taking Alabama 110%. I have Alabama as my national championship. I still feel very confident about Alabama running the table and being able, I don't know about Gonzaga anymore, but I feel confident in them being able to run the table and get to the Final Four. So I am taking Alabama over UCLA, even though UCLA has been playing very, very well lately. And I said it in my Sweet 16 picks. UCLA is a team to watch out for. I'm still taking Alabama in this one, which leads Michigan, Alabama in the Elite Eight. Throwback to what, the 2019 would it be? No, it was 2020. It would have been 2020 January 1st Citrus Bowl or wherever it was in Orlando. I know that's football, but that's because I'm a football guy. Just brings me back to that. Now we got the most interesting games, and there's going to be a shocker pick in here. I'm going to take it. I don't care. I got to be honest. I got to take my full guts. So we got Loyola, Chicago, and Oregon State. Obviously, two teams who have shocked it off. Oregon State beating the other OSU, Oklahoma State, and they were the most overrated team in the tournament. I said it before, I'll say it again. And then we got Illinois, who I thought was the best team in all of college basketball, losing to Loyola Chicago. Who's Loyola Chicago's big guy? I forget his name, but he had an unbelievable game for Loyola Chicago, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That one steal late in the game. I like Loyola Chicago in this game. I just think they're hot right now. I think they're the better team. They played better opponents. I think Loyola Chicago is going to be in the Elite Eight again with the chance to get back to the Final Four. The Ramblers always find a way to do it, and they just shock us every single year. Now, here's my big upset pick. We got Syracuse and Houston, and obviously I said my upset pick, so that means I am taking the Syracuse Orange in this one. This team is orange hot. This team is very orange hot. I'm not saying red hot, I'm saying orange hot, going up against the Houston Cougars, who they played a close game against Rutgers. I thought Rutgers had it for most of that game. I feel good about this Syracuse team. Who's a Buddy Boeheim. They're just getting going over there in Syracuse. I feel good about that team. I feel real good about that Syracuse Orange team. So I'm taking my Elite Eight to be the Syracuse Orange and the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and that leaves my Elite Eight too. So in the West region, I got Gonzaga versus USC. In my South region, I got Baylor versus Arkansas. In my East region, I got Michigan versus Bama, and then in my Midwest region, I got Loyola Chicago versus the Syracuse Orange in the battle to get to the Final Four. The road to the Final Four is just beginning. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate it. Again, if you love this content, if you love college sports, definitely do yourself a favor and do me and my partner on this channel, Bernie, a huge favor. Your subscriptions mean a ton to us. And if you have been subscribed for a long time, I know we don't say this enough, but you guys have really done something special for us in making this channel what it is. So thank you to all of our current subscribers. Hit the like button down below. Comment anything. Thanks for watching, and definitely come back next time.